So welcome to Yoga for Slouchers. So this is a class that's focused very much on the shoulders, and we're going to be working on kind of building our muscles. So it's very much about strengthening and lengthening. When you're ready, just getting started in a comfortable seated position. So that can be cross-legged. You can have your feet outstretched in front. You might want to come into kneeling. And just take a couple of shoulder rolls just to gently start to allow the shoulders just to soften down the back. Allow the hands to rest luxuriously in the lap. Take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Another one of those, inhaling through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Just let go of your day. Just allow perhaps that physical tension to be released on the exhale. So bringing nice encouragement of that breath inwards, and then allowing the body, everything to soften down towards the earth on the exhale. One more full round. And when you're finished, so when you take that to the end of the exhale, bring your hands up to heart center in prayer position. Gently blink your eyes open to come back into the room. And let's take a deep inhale to grow tall through the spine. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands out into an interlace in front, coming into circle of joy. Flipping the palms, we're going to inhale up, stretching up. So pressing away with those fingertips. And then bringing the arms down and around behind the back of the body, pressing down and away. Exhale as you open that chest. Start to open through the pecs, that chest, maybe that tight area where you've been hunching. Inhale back to center. We're going to do a few rounds of this, trying to bring the breath and the movement together. So inhale if you haven't already. Exhale, pressing the hands away. Inhale, flip the palms and bring the arms just above the head, pressing those arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands around, pressing down and away, feeling an opening through the chest. Inhale back to heart center. Exhale away. Inhale up. Exhale down and around, press away. Inhale, heart center. One more time. Exhale away. Press, press, press. Inhale up. Exhale around. Press down and away. And inhale back up to center. Hopefully a nice little way to start to get those shoulders starting to stretch out and feeling a little bit more mobile. We're going to start to come into a couple of side stretches now. So inhaling the arms up, exhaling over towards the left-hand side, feeling that lovely gentle stretch. Inhale back up to center, exhale across to the opposite side. So just working gently from one side to the other. So we start to stretch through the muscles in the side body, our lat, which are associated very much with the upward motion of mobility in the shoulders. Exhale over to the other side. So just working with your own time and your own breath now. You don't have to be in sync with me, just exploring this movement. Beautiful. Next time you bring your hands back up, you're going to exhale the hands down to the side and just come into a kneeling position if you're not in position already, and kick the feet over towards the right hand side. From there, you're going to place the right hand down on the ground and bring the left hand up and over, so behind the head. Point the elbow up towards the sky and then walk the opposite fingertips out to the side, gazing up. So bringing the gaze up to stare at the elbow. So you should be feeling this stretch into the side of the shoulder area with the bent arm. Breathing here, Holding for a couple of breaths. Seeing if you can breathe into any sensations you might be feeling in the side of the body as well as the shoulder, depending on where you've got potential tightness. And then gently inhale back to center. We're crossing over to the opposite side, so just shuffle the legs across. Don't need to be glamorous about it. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale the left hand down this side, and then we're going to gently bring the right hand up and around the head. Bring that elbow up and back, so it's like opening out and then bringing the elbow up towards the sky, and then gaze up towards the elbows. You walk the fingertips out just to extend the stretch. Enjoying that stretch into the side body, into the shoulder. We breathe here for another couple of breaths. Gently calming back up, releasing both hands off, rolling forward into an all fours position now. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. So come into that box-like position, lovely all fours. We're going to sink the bum, tilt the pelvis upwards, bring the belly towards the chest, towards the floor, but it is roughly working towards the chest, and bring the shoulder blades together as you start to gaze towards the top of the mat. We're coming into our cow pose. Tilting from the hips, we kind of come through, rolling through the spine, pressing those shoulder blades away, belly towards spine, bringing the chin towards the chest in our cat pose. Working through this a couple of times and really seeing if you can roll through the whole of the spine. And once you've got that movement going, start to concentrate on the shoulders. So the shoulder blades coming together in your cow pose and bringing them apart. So pressing the ground away and allowing the shoulder blades to broaden away from one another in your cat pose. Okay. Coming to a flat back position now, we're going to do something a little bit different. You might not be familiar with this, so just take a little peek. So we're keeping in our box position, we're keeping the elbows straight, and we're not working through cat-cow anymore. We're going to be working with what's called a scapular push-up. I know, exotic, isn't it? So this is basically when you're pressing away, it's a really small movement versus the cat-cow. You're pressing the shoulder blades apart, and then you're bringing them back together. So keep those elbows straight, a tiny little micro bend, just to not lock them out. And it's a really, really small movement, just starting to move the muscles that are surrounding your shoulder blades, your shoulder stabilizers. So pressing those shoulders away and then bringing them together. Taking that movement that we started doing the cat-cow, we're just doing that. So really exaggerating it. Beautiful. Coming back to a flat back now, we're going to roll onto our front. We're going to bring the hands out into a cactus arm position. So elbows are at a right angle in line with the shoulders. Forehead's on the floor and forehead stays on the floor. And what we're going to do is lift the elbows up, lift the hands up and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Pausing at the top, exhale down. So inhale up, imagine that you're squeezing with your back, top to back, exhale down. So few of these, take your time, really pause at the top and then exhale. And then bringing the hands underneath the head and just allowing yourself just to fully relax into the earth beneath you. So really switching off through those muscles in the back, taking a couple of breaths here. And now we're going to switch on the whole of the back body. So again, option to bring the breath and movement together if you'd like. We're going to hinge from the hips. So starting with the right, hinging from the hips, pressing those toes away, hinging up from the hips and then exhaling down. See if you can keep the leg straight as you're coming back towards the room. What we're starting to do is switch on the whole of the back of the body. So just working with the right leg. We'll do a couple more on this side. One more. And then switching sides across to the left. Inhale up, hinging from that hip, exhale down. Just one more on this side. And then we're going to bring both legs up. So you're hinging again from the hips, pointing those toes back, holding those legs up. Option to bring then the upper body in. So using your back muscles to raise the chest up. Don't throw the head back. See if you can keep it in line with the neck, so the chin even slightly tucked. And then bring the hands behind into an interlace. And see if you can stretch and open through the chest. So we're coming into our locust pose. Really challenging pose. Doesn't look it, but it really is. So just seeing if you can use those muscles in the back body to keep everything upright. We're creating a lovely curve with the spine, sort of sleigh-like position. One more breath here. Press, 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 press away with the hands, with the feet. And then gently roll yourself back down. Bring the hands back onto the forehead. Option to roll through the hips. Have a little wiggle there. Gently pushing yourself up. Let's push the bum back straight back into your child's pose and just allow the hands to stretch out in front. Option to come up onto tented fingers here. And then walking the hands over across to the right hand side, feeling a stretch through the left side body. Pause on this side, just breathing into that space. And then calming back to center, walking the fingertips across to the opposite side. Breathing into any sensations that you feel, stretching the shoulders, stretching the side body. And then walking the fingertips back to center, plant the hands on the floor, tuck the toes under, and shift your bum up and back to find yourself in your downward facing dog. So really thinking about straight spine, keep the knees nice and bent if you like. And when you're there, so keeping the knees bent for the moment, I really want you to concentrate on what's going on with the upper arms today. So pressing those fingers, seeing if you can keep those fingers spread nice and wide. We're pressing up and back, so really taking the weight out of the heel by bringing the weight towards the back of the room. And then from there, see if you can twist to slightly externally rotate the arms. So it's like almost like you're imagining that you're gripping a little beach ball underneath your armpits. See if you can relax your head by giving it a little nod and a shake, so we take any tension out of the neck. Tuck that tummy in slightly. And you're in a brilliant position now to see if you want to straighten off the legs. Option to have a little walk or pedal of the feet here now. Starting to have a little stretch through the backs of the legs. Seeing if you can keep that integrity of the spine in your downward facing dog. And hopefully a nice kind of sensation in the shoulders. So by imagining that you're kind of got that extra activation by gripping slightly or engaging slightly with the armpit, you hopefully can feel your shoulders are working in a slightly different way to a more passive version of a downward facing dog. Just one more breath here. And then you're going to pause if you're pedaling the legs, come back to center, inhale the left foot up and back, and exhale it in between your hands, lowering the right knee down. So help it through as you need. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale out into a cactus arms. So pressing those elbows back, feeling that opening through the chest, lovely straight spine. And we're pausing here. And this is where you're going to have an opportunity to work on those pecs. Reminds me of the 90s stars like your Peter Andre and you're like, but we're going to start bringing the hands towards the center. So keeping the arms really active as you do so. Press the elbows together, press the hands together. So it's like you're compressing the pecs and then bringing them out to the side. Keep the elbows at a right angle if you can. Then have a little look at yourself on the camera if you've got it on. Lovely. So arms super, super active. You can do this really passively. Like I can keep this super floppy, or I can really switch the arms on, spread the fingers nice and wide, and press the arms in and out. One more, hold, and see if you can bring those elbows back. So really feel that opening through the chest. And then bringing the hands to heart center, you'll be relieved that you can take the edge off. And we're going to twist. So twist from the middle of the back and then twist over that front knee. Just enjoying that gentle twist through the upper back. So nice kind of spinal twist, and pressing perhaps the back of the right arm into the top of that leg, just to help get a bit of extra angle with the twist, if you like. Beautiful. Inhaling yourself back to center. We're going to gently bring the hands either side of the front foot, and you're going to bring the front foot to meet the back. We're going to come into a supported plank now. So we could come into a full plank, but I'm going to advise for this, because we're going to be coming through a little strenuous exercise for most of us, this sort of position. So you can come into a box. That's probably the easiest version of it. So if you are working with your strength, particularly in your arms and your chest, then start in this position, but you can start shifting those knees back, creating a little bit of an angle. And then what we're going to do, and again, you might want to watch me first, is really engage through the tummy, really engage through the bum. So get yourself in a lovely, stable foundation pose to start with. And the wrists are underneath the shoulders. And then what we're going to do is imagine that the elbows are going back in a straight line. So see if you can really tuck them in. I don't want them splaying out to the side. It will put a lot of pressure in places we don't want. Tiny movement down, only until you start to feel those elbows starting to come out to the sides. So it's a little dip, half tricep dip, basically. Supported plank, coming down. Beautiful. So see if you can really imagine that those elbows are glued to your sides. We're not letting them anywhere near outwards. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to gently lower ourselves down to the ground fully. So see if you can keep those elbows nice and tucked in to the sides. And then we're going to bring the hands either side of the chest. Hopefully they're already there or thereabouts. Roll yourself up into a little cobra position. And you're going to start, maybe even bring the hands a little bit further forward. Start pulling the hands back towards you. So you're not actually moving them, but you're pressing back. And can you feel that activation through the front of the chest? Really strong sensation into the pecs, into the chest area. Gently lower yourself down to the ground, just to allow yourself just to soften. Lovely. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself up and back, option to come through your child's pose. Options to take a little pause here. Or if you'd like to make your practice a little bit more energetic this evening, then you can come straight back up to your downward facing dog. And then we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Pressing into the right foot, bring the left foot, bring the right foot up and back. So it's right foot up and back. Exhale it in between your hands, helping it through as you need. Lower the back knee down. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands out to the side, elbows at right angle, cactus arms. See if you can open through the chest. We pause here. And then we're coming to those Peter Andre pec movements, bringing the hands and the elbows together at the front. See if you can press and engage. Active arms. So imagine that you're pushing the air back as you pull the arms towards the back of the room. And then again, imagine that you're pushing the air forward. Just two more of these. Holding for one more breath when you're in your cactus. And then inhaling the arms up. Exhale down to prayer. Inhale to grow a little bit taller, and then we're spinning around over that right knee. So twisting from the middle back and seeing if you can bring the back of the left hand around that leg, finding that low lunge twist. Breathing here. If that's not comfortable for you, I should say you can stay upright in this position. One more deep breath. And then spinning yourself around. We're bringing the front foot to meet the back. Finding ourselves in our supported plank position. And let's do a couple more of those. We won't do loads of them, but we're going to do those tricep dips once more. So see if you can engage through the tummy, engage through the bum, finding that angle, wrists underneath shoulders, setting yourself up. And then when you're ready, gluing those elbows to your sides, just coming down a tiny amount so you can keep those elbows in line or going halfway down. If you can make the movement a little bit bigger this time. One more. And then you're going to lower yourself all the way down to the ground this time. Beautiful. Pressing your hands up and away. So again, option to bring the hands a little bit further forward. Finding your cobra, seeing if you can press the hip bone into the earth, tops of the feet into the earth. And then imagine that you're pulling your elbows towards the back of the room. You can be a little bit lower with this position, I should say as well. So if you want to come into a low version, you don't have to be up here. Just go right by the ground. Again, imagine that you're pulling back without moving the mat to really switch on through the chest. One more breath. And release down, allowing yourself to soften into the mat. Option to have a little wiggle of the hips. Maybe have a little sway through the neck. And then when you're ready, gently pressing yourself up and back to come up to a comfortable seated position, where we'll close our practice together. And bringing our hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, prayer position, bowing the head towards the hands, and thanking yourself for stepping on the mat and giving those shoulders a bit of attention. You're feeling nice and open in that area. Thanks everyone, and look forward to seeing you soon.